This is a journal for Wynter. She wanted Asian color cover, so there's Asian embellishments. The charms are all Asian. This is the theme of this journal is theater. So there's a mixture of Asian and theater ephemera inside this journal. It's a 5 signature journal, which is huge. This was a lot of fun to make. I really enjoyed making this because Wynter was very articulate in what she wanted to see, and I was fortunate enough to find a great book that I've included a lot of the ephemera in here is from that book, and I will be gifting her with the remainder of the book. So to begin, this book belongs to, it's a little library, old library card with the butterfly. This is stuff to do with either Hollywood, the movies, the theater. This is about the book, a note from the bookmaker. This is handmade paper. This is all vintage. Everything in here is vintage as far as the theater ephemera is concerned, with the exception of something I've included in the back. This is sheet music that's throughout. I have the whole thing inside this journal, but in various places. So, map of California. I love this lace. I wanted to include some lace. This is a vintage postcard. This is, this has, what do you call that? Origami paper made into flowers. And then I just made this little envelope, and that's something, the face of theater. This is a playbill from, I think I started from 1931. Okay, so it goes to 52, I think. So this is the entire playbill for this. Presents holiday greetings to you. French ephemera. These are playwrights, famous playwrights from the beginning of when they started keeping records of the playwrights. So I have all the playwrights that I could find, but I think this is, and there's a bibliography in here that tells you there's information about it, and it's listed by the plate number. And I thought this was a darling little thing. It looks like a little mouse dressed up for the theater. This is the book that I was talking about, and this is from 1954. So, and the book plate tells you, it gives you the information about the plate numbers. She looked like she was a star on the stage. This is coffee dyed paper, vintage music paper, coffee dyed paper. This is artwork that my granddaughter Charlotte did. This is a little different, but this is something she made, and I just love it. This little envelope here includes other art that paper that we call it Charlotte's paper, and it's inside of there. The dictionary pages all have something to do with the theater. This is actor, actress, which is highlighted. This is coffee dyed paper, Asian paper, and then I've used these little Asian stamps to kind of embellish what I sewed the signatures with. Acting. So this is vellum. So there's plenty of journaling spots, or she can add things to it. She can, you know, glue things to it. She can write in here. This pocket just has stuff to do with the theater, whether it's the concert, this is movies, this is the screen. And I have realized that the theater and Hollywood are two different areas, but I just went with the paper that I could find to embellish this book. So, and I just love this book. This is part of the book that I found that included all of this information, and then I'm gifting her the remainder of the book. But these are famous actresses, and I just have really enjoyed going through and collecting all of this material for Wynter, and I really hope she enjoys this. Again, this is the remainder of that 1931 playbill. And look at the dresses. This is probably a high-end dress, but it was $39.50. So, this is the other part of the California map, California, Hollywood. This is the other side of that music paper, music sheet. This is the end of the first signature. And this is just some journaling cards. This is the second sheet of that music paper. France, I thought of the French theater. And this is Charmed Dragon 4. And this, which one is this? That's the fan. And I thought this was a neat postcard for Mozart. This is a vintage postcard as well. This is an embossing, something I embossed for her. She could write on that or use it for a picture or what have you. This 1932 plate. But it's vintage. This is an old encyclopedia page, and it's about the theater. And I just folded it up because there's other things. It talks about the Theater Guild and things like that. Again, this is those plates with the famous playwrights. And this is the introduction to the theater. And this is it was a textbook, I believe. And whoever owned it wrote through it. And so, of course, that's all in there from when they had it. And I think it makes it very interesting. Vintage music paper. This is Charlotte's paper. Railroad ticket. I thought that was appropriate to go from New York to New York, or you take a train to go to the play. This is, I don't know, well, this is a dictionary page. It has something to do with the theater, but I don't know what yet. Drama. Dramatics. This is coffee dyed paper with doilies. The other side of Charlotte's paper, vintage music, coffee dyed paper. This is chapter 3 from that textbook. Very interesting textbook, and it does have to do with the theater. This is another animal that is dressed up for the play. And this is the other side of the playbill. This is a flip up, kind of an Asian theme or feel. Or this is the other side of the French map. Vintage paper, handmade paper. Lots of places for her to add things or write, journal, whatever she wants to do. This is the beginning of the third page, signature. This is left over from making the journal cover. I just used it as a pocket and just added. And here's another one of those little envelopes that I made and added the origami paper in there, made out of a flower. And there's one of the flowers. In Japan, I believe Wynter's family has Japanese heritage, so that's why I included the map of Japan. This is tea-dyed coffee dyed doily. This is a playbill from 1932. This is, she can write under here. Same thing on this page. These are just, it has to do with the theater in London. This is vintage wallpaper. It's a copy of that. And this is another critter that's dressed up for the play. And this is Charlotte's paper, coffee dyed paper, a pocket, and I stenciled on here, put a journal just to add some interest. And this is a silhouette of a dress form. This is a playing card. The hurrier you go, the behinder you get. Let's put this in there. This in there. Vintage music, pocket, coffee dyed doily paper. This is another one of Charlotte's papers. This is a dictionary. It says playwright. Vellum, coffee dyed. So there's plenty of journaling stuff here. She could embellish it herself. I thought this was so pretty, so I included that. And again, these are the little stamps that I cut out to add to the thread that I used to sew the signatures in. And this seemed to match this, so I thought that was interesting. This is a flip up. And this is a playbill from the cover of a playbill from some time around 1930, I believe, in the 30s. And this has to do with playwrights again. The other side of Charlotte's paper, tea-dyed doily or coffee-dyed doily paper. Music. This is a pocket. And I love this saying, an artist has no home in Europe except in Paris. So I thought that was very cute and appropriate. And I love this card here. So it doesn't have to do with the theater per se, but it reminds me of that. And this is, again, this is part of the textbook for her to read through. Ledger paper. The other part of the playbill. And these dresses are cheaper. Coffee dyed doily, Japan. This is the other sheet of this vintage music that I had. These are all, this is a playing card. This has to do with the old Hollywood, Mary Pickford actresses, and they started on the stage. And I thought that was a pretty picture. So that's the end of the third signature. Fourth signature, handmade paper, music. This is Maryland. That is where Wynter's father lives, so that's why I included that. Charms, pocket, postcard from New York of Times Square. This is a great playbill from Life with Father, so I was so excited when I found this for her. So this is vintage, of course, and I hope she enjoys having this. It's all intact and in order. It's just I took the staples out. The playwrights, directors. These are all playwrights, I believe. All of these are. And drama, vintage music. Again, these are just, this is a pocket and vintage music, and this is another one of those envelopes that I made that has the origami paper in it. Coffee dyed paper with the lace doily Charlotte's paper. Dictionary, and this has to do with screenplays and yeah. So coffee dyed papers, the stamps. This is for her for journaling or adding whatever she would like for that. This is script, vellum paper, Charlotte's paper. This is the London theater shop, so I included that. I found that online. Vintage paper, coffee dyed paper, and this is the dog that's dressed up for going to the theater. So this is part of the Playwrights. This is French artwork. Pocket, Japanese journaling card, Born to be a Star, Valentino, I think, yes, Valentino. So the old actors that started in the theater. So anyway, a coat check. And this is Maryland. This is the music, vintage music. This is fabric that goes with wallpaper that I used for the cover. This is a journaling card in one of these envelopes. And not all stars belong to the sky. And here's some note cards with Asian looking fans on it for her to use however she wants. And the fifth signature, handmade paper, the last sheet of that vintage music, New York. These are the charms, a panda bear and a locust flower, lotus. Asian paper, award goes to, this all has to do with theater or Asian, Japanese. This is 1952 Playbill, Playbill. So, ledger paper, French receipt, plate. This is the Playwrights. And that's a donkey, I believe. Oh, I need to add something for this. I was going to put some, this is a belly band, vintage music, coffee dyed paper, Charlotte's paper, vellum, stage, coffee dyed paper, and these are larger stamps. Vellum, pocket, that's the playing card. Valentino, I think. Yep, Valentino. Mary Pickford, the old stars. And some more Charlie Chaplin. So these are just journaling cards to do whatever, just to kind of dress it up. And the last of the introduction to theater, the Playwrights. This is the French receipt. And this is pocket with some more ephemera. The end of the playbill. And this is the other side of the New York map. The other side of the vintage music. And made by Mary Alfred in Alexandria. This here is included. I've been saving this. There's a great article in here that was in the Washington Post about a play that I saved for myself, and I just remembered that I had it, and I'm wanting to include it for Wynter's journal. So that's an extra. So I hope she enjoys this. This is, I think, one of my favorites that I've done. And I can't wait to hear what she says. It's freestanding. It's big, but I don't have to tie it or do anything. And I didn't want to. I wanted it to be like a book that she could put on the shelf and pull down and do whatever. I didn't want it to be all fussy with tying it up. So that's it.